Yeah, I look like trash. Hey guys, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies. And today I'm gonna be doing a movie review on Shazam! Alright, did the effects work? Did it work? I don't know. But anyway, Shazam is a very, very recently released movie in the DCEU, which is the DC Extended Universe, which is a universe that has movies like Man of Steel, like Batman vs. Superman, like Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and at first the DCEU seemed to suck. But later on, with movies like Wonder Woman and Aquaman, it sort of redeemed itself, even though still clearly Marvel Cinematic Universe is a more popular universe. So going into the movie, I really didn't expect that much. I really didn't expect high quality production, amazing captivating storyline. I didn't expect all that much. So at first I was kind of lukewarm by the idea of the movie, but I'm so glad that I watched it. I'm so glad that I watched it because right now, Shazam might be my favorite DCEU movie, despite the fact that it may also be a tie with Wonder Woman. So basically, originally I wanted to do a movie review on Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I and my cousins, decided to watch Shazam yesterday. Actually, it was my cousin's idea, so, I went to watch the movie with them, and then here we go. And to be honest, not gonna lie, Shazam is an awesome movie. Billy Batson is a young teenager around 14, 15 years old who sort of got lost in like a carnival when he was really young. So, he was lost and his mom couldn't find him and his dad left him. So, after that incident, he was in foster homes one by one because he had been running off all the time and he had been trying so hard to find his mom again. And that's basically it. We also have a wizard from some other realm, some magical wizard who had the power of Shazam, and he's really old, he's gonna die, and there are these seven sins embodied by these monsters, and he couldn't defend the world from these monsters anymore, so he needed to pass the power to someone else to find someone with a pure heart. And at first, the old wizard found a kid whose name is Sivana, Dr.Sivana, and originally that kid was going to be, the next Shazam, but unfortunately, he became evil, and one day when he grew up, he somehow found a way to go back to the realm, and he grabbed a magical eye, which is basically the the eye that stores the seven sins. And if he puts that eye into his, if he substituted his own eye with that magical eye, he would be a very powerful, dark, evil monster guy. And so later on, we have Shazam. Shazam. Billy Batson finally showed up, and the wizard gave him all his powers and died. And now Billy Batson is Shazam. So that's basically the plot here. And at that point, Billy Batson was also in a foster home with a bunch of other kids, who I forgot the name of, but there's a bunch of kids, and with a really nice foster dad and a really nice foster mom, and one of the kids who sleeps in the same bedroom with Billy Batson is Freddie Freeman, who became Shazam's sidekick, sort of. And now we have Shazam the movie versus Dr. Sivana, the villain. So, yeah. This movie is actually directed by the same director who directed Lights Out and Annabelle Creation. So, this movie and those two horror movies are like night and day, because this movie is way more light-hearted and way more fun and way more family friendly. And it's easily the most family friendly and fun DCEU movie yet. So it's, I don't know, man. I don't know if the director can really deliver something this funny this well. And turns out it worked. It worked out for him. I think the performances are pretty good. The child actors in this thing, they are actually pretty skilled and they're pretty good actors. And Zachary Levi is awesome as Shazam. If you're wondering why, because Billy Batson, when he says Shazam, he becomes an adult person and with powers, and if he says Shazam again, he becomes the powerless teenager that he originally is again. So therefore, Zachary Levi and Billy Batson, the kid, is actually the same person. They're just exchanging bodies. So basically, Zachary Levi in the movie has an adult body, but a teenage mind. And in the movie, Zachary Levi does that just right. He has so much energy, and the way he acts is just so teenager, it's so teenager. And the plot is really realistic as well. I mean, if you were a teenager and you suddenly had these powers, are your first thoughts going to be, oh, I'm going to save the city, I'm going to protect the city from all these criminals, I'm going to bring the world justice? No, you're going to probably use these powers to impress people, to get money, to get rich, and be famous. And in the movie, that's what really happened in the beginning. Shazam became a person who used his own powers to impress people, get chicks, and that's really realistic. That's exactly what a kid would do if he suddenly gained superpowers. And there are also a lot of legitimately funny scenes in the movie that I actually had a good laugh at. And I think the villain is meh. I think they are saving the arch nemesis of Shazam for like the sequel, but still, the villain is okay, it's not terrible. And overall, the movie has a really warm and heartfelt message about family, about trusting your own family and loving your own family. And the ending of the movie, the climax of the movie, is actually really smart. I really like how it's being played out, and it's really entertaining overall. However, it's not that there aren't flaws in the movie. There are a couple of moments in the movie that's just kind of cheesy, but I think the movie is pretty self-aware of that. And there are some really, unnatural tonal shifts. And there are also some issues I have with, some minor issues I have with the characters' personalities, especially Billy Batson's personality, who is originally very cool with things, who doesn't like to socialize with people, but once he changed into Shazam, he became, a dumber version of himself, almost. And also that one scene where Shazam had to catch a bus falling off from a highway bridge in the sky. I don't think there's a big difference between the bus falling onto the ground and the bus falling onto Shazam's arms. The only difference is the 2 meters between Shazam's arms and the ground. And, it's just not that realistic. But, yeah. Even though in the grand scheme of things, Shazam isn't really a really deep or memorable movie that I would think about constantly, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm surprised that it's not a bad movie at all. It's actually pretty good, and it might be my favorite DCEU movie so far. I am saying Shazam is pretty cool, and I'm giving it a 7. Yeah, I think a 7, like almost an 8. Strong 7 out of 10. So, have you watched Shazam? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like if you like it, subscribe if you want more.